Been a minute since this type of shit, let's hold it back now. Young and never king, drip the gold like a sack. Duck in front of laws with the dogs, bring the scat out. Talking all that shit, you sound like Charles while I'm Shaq. Man, Mike Cheggity. You heard?
Yes, sir.
Cats coming in with that big noise. Yeah, man. Man, it's your boy Word from the Word of Clarity podcast with my boy Kenny G. What's poppin', my G? Cats all right down there?
Good, man. I was on the road and it was hectic, you know what I'm saying? But I'm back at the crib, back kind of on regular schedule programming. So
yeah,
all is well, my dude. I'm glad to be back in the city, glad to be moving how I'm moving and all of that, man. How you living over there?
Man, Cat's back in the city, man. It's been good, dog. Your boy is in the middle of transition gigs. You know what I mean? The next joint I got I'm going into is quite frankly gonna be right up my passion. So not really gonna feel like work, man. I'm looking forward to it. I got some close friends over there that I'll be working with as well. So yeah, man, it looks like it's gonna be going up, for the rest of 2023. And yeah, man, we in March, the month of madness. You been keeping up with that March Madness, my G?
I have. Let me just say, man, and I know, we don't talk about college basketball much.
Yeah.
But since you're talking about March Madness, that dude Marquise Noel, man. Kansas State, Harlem, New York City point guard, 5'8", about $150, $160 soaking wet. That dude cold, bro.
Now what's his name again?
Marquise Noel, bro. Dude shoot the three. Dude shoot the three like Steph Curry. I'm gonna tell you his NBA comp. Imagine, matter of fact, everything. So it's a perfect comp in my opinion. Isaiah Thomas, not legend Isaiah Thomas, but the guard,
the second, the smaller cat.
IT forward. Imagine him never getting injured. And when he was killing, when he was a killer. Leading Boston to playoff runs. And
Evan Daner, 30 points. He that type of guy.
Yeah, 30 points a game. Get out his way. Let him go crazy. Because let me tell you, what he did to Kansas, bro, on the national stage when the lights were bright, Coach Calipari was so upset at this dude, he called him little guy. He didn't even call him by his name.
Was it Kansas or Kentucky you talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. My bad. Kansas State versus Kentucky.
Okay.
So Kansas State is where Marquise Noel plays.
Right.
Kentucky, Calipari squad is who he played.
Okay.
And Calipari was so upset he couldn't even call the dude by name. He tried to low-key disrespect him. He was like, yo, little dude been killing me, bro. So
wow.
Yeah, like he's put up like 60 points in 2 games. He's on his way to if he continues to advance to break the NCAA record in assists.
Wow.
In the college season. He's cold. I don't know if because he's small, he's only 5'8".
Yeah.
Because he's small, people probably aren't going to draft him, in top 15 because they're concerned about his size. But he's playing the top guys in the country, and he's giving them 30. Easy.
I got to check him out, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, like go on his gram. Even check his he got like a video montage of that game versus Kentucky.
Yeah.
And there's one where they put like a full court press on him. He breaks dude to the right, breaks dude to the left, breaks dude back to the right. He drives, and the whole defense collapses in on him.
Yeah.
And then he throws a no look alley-oop to his teammate, bro. And it's one of the nastiest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that must sound crazy.
Yeah,
I gotta check him out, man.
Yeah. So just wanted to give him a shout out on the pod because we don't talk about college basketball much, right?
Yeah.
He cold, man. I'm hoping big things for that dude, man. He cold.
The only cast we've ever really kind of, explore him in outside of the NBA for real was Victor Wembanyama, man. What's the latest on this guy, man? Is the NBA draft coming up pretty soon? It'll be like June, I want to say. It's typically when it is, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know where it is this year, but it will be in June, and I expect him to go number 1. So
Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson, that's pretty much the top 2 lock. Ain't nobody contesting them, huh?
Yeah, not those two. And honestly, the gap, in my opinion, continues to get wider between those two. Scoot Henderson is good,
Yeah.
But and he's real good. Like I think he's gonna be, at the very least, Scoot Henderson will probably eventually be like an Anthony Edwards. So like
Okay.
you're talking about a dude who's like a fringe all-star to a solidified all-star in the league. I think if you don't give Victor a good consolation prize is getting Scoot. That's great. You know what I'm saying? Like you still did very well for your franchise. However, Victor Wembanyama can be more like a Tim Duncan, in my opinion. Like that's my comp for him. Not game wise, but when I think about like skill set, demeanor, success that he could possibly have in the NBA if you build around him. Like Tim quietly, MVP, Finals MVP, five-time NBA champion. How Lord knows how many All NBA stuff like that. Like Victor can come in and be that type of guy, that type of impactful player as long as he's healthy. And so, yeah, that's how I see it. You got the gap is Tim Duncan and Anthony Edwards, which is a pretty big gap. But
oh yeah, that sounds like Tim Duncan and Anthony Edwards is miles from each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
hey,
man.
All stars though, bro. Your franchise do well if you get either one. So.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
Yeah, we'll be looking out for them cats, man. Cause it's a little got me a little worried as far as like where the league will be once it fully is out of the hands of the LeBrons, the Currys, the KDs of the world. You know what I mean? But we shall see, man. But man, perfect segue into one of the premier faces of the league. Always isn't in the best right spaces. We gonna play this video and we'll jump into him, man. We all back. If you ain't catch us the last 2 episodes, it's because we did some live episodes on Instagram. And y'all definitely expect more of those. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we always gonna get back to always giving y'all the episodes straight to y'all on y'all platforms, Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, I should say, Spotify Podcasts, etc. We see y'all, man. Appreciate all the love. We gonna jump into this topic, play this video, and then we gonna chop it up.
Let's do it.
There you have it, man. They calling this guy Morant, right? He's or they calling him WICK. You know what I'm saying? He got so many different names, man. I don't even know if it's appropriate to be sounding off them gunshots. Coming in with that big noise. We gonna do it though, you know what I'm saying? But
not Ja Warren.
Hey, Ja Warren and WICK, my G dog. How you feel about this dude, man? We know he actually is scheduled to be back now. He didn't play the first game back, but his suspension is actually over. I think it was a total of what? I think that makes a total of 8 games that I want to say he was out. What's your immediate thoughts, man? We didn't really dive all the way in once it kind of was happening because we was off those weeks. But, just kind of spill on what you feel about him, man, and for us going forward, how you think things should go.
Yeah. So with Ja, bro, it's like you ain't got a lot of kicking. That's the saying we got in the hood. You ain't got a lot of kicking. You don't. You can tell dudes who grew up in the neighborhood and then grew up in the action. I think Ja at some points has been in the neighborhood. I know he didn't grow up in the neighborhood. T and his mother have done a great job of giving him a level of life and middle class lifestyle that he didn't have to be in the neighborhood, but I think he was there. So I think he was around it. I think he was infatuated with the lifestyle. Yeah. And that kind of has led to him growing up. Somebody pulled up, I don't know if you've seen this, but somebody found his old Instagram before he got famous.
Yeah, I seen it, man. Cat was wilding.
Yeah. It was like, yo, this is Ja Morant's old Instagram. And in the old Instagram, like he's talking about how he got pistols and he ready to shoot and he called rapping. I'm like,
dude had bracelets though, man.
Yeah, like you was going to basketball tournaments for AAU, bro. Like you wasn't about that, bro. I don't even know what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like you not that guy, bro. So yeah, it was just a level of like wondering like where does he even get this from? So to break all that down, I don't know who his PR team is, but they should be fired too, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. He got on that. He got on that interview with Jalen Rose talking about some. It's all behind me now. I'm past it. I ain't got no more issues. Negro, that was 10 days ago, bro. You ain't get past dog. You didn't get past your problems in 10 days, John. I would rather you get up there and say, yo, we're work in progress. I'm figuring it out.
Right.
Life happens.
I still got a long road ahead of me. Man, take one step at a time. Yeah.
This dude went to 2 sessions and all of a sudden he a changed man and ready to be a therapist. Like, John, that's not you, dog.
Yeah, man.
Not only are you faking the thug role, you faking the I'm completely healed role.
Right, the recovery you faking. Right.
Yeah, like even in the recovery you faking, and those who are real can tell the difference. So
yeah,
that's just how I feel about Ja. I think the NBA. There was no charges that could really be found, so they really couldn't do any more than like the 8 to 10 game window that they gave. They gave him 8, so they couldn't do no more than that. But yeah, if I'm them, bro, I'm looking at him like the clock has started as to whether or not we find him back in the strip club or turn it up. Yeah,
hey, don't let him and James Harden team up. Them boys gonna be called the Bang Bros. Hey, boy, him and Ja get on the same squad. Them cats gonna be living it up, boy. I promise you, dog.
It's about to be tragic, boy. So,
hey, man. Yeah, man. I want to piggyback off the Jalen Rose interview, man. I thought that mug was done horrendously, bro. Like his answers were just like when he first put the apology out when everything happened. You could tell he didn't write that. The one question when Jalen asked him, yo, so whose gun was it? He literally, it wasn't mine. It was just like, bro, I'm like, dog, this mug is just like not informative. It was like they said, here, we're going to ask you this question, you give this response. We're going to ask you this question, you give this response. I'm like, bro, it didn't seem like, you know what I mean? It was very remorseful of his actions. Didn't seem like he was taking the recovery as serious. And this, like you said, bro, 10 days, 2 sessions, I'm a whole healed man. Like, come on, man. You obviously may have some demons. Who knows? I ain't gonna say you ain't never been through nothing, but a lot of this stuff, it looks like you may be portraying things that you saw others were into. I mean, I think the music, even though even what he listened to nowadays probably does play influence on kind of what he want to do. Go back to that saying where they always saying the rappers want to be ballers, the ballers want to be rappers. I think that's a real thing. Like somehow those guys do want to do that. The thing is, the rapper don't have no repercussions trying to be the baller. The ballers have repercussions trying to be the rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like they lifestyle get glorified as a rapper. You as a baller, you can't do that, man. Y'all looked at as role models. You know what I mean? You were a team sport. Yeah, man, as far as going forward, man, with Ja, hopefully he has learned from his mistakes, you know what I mean? Hopefully he looked at his team and was like, if these guys don't have my best interests, he adjusted his lineup, so to speak, and also, because I seen a video of one of his parties out back at one of his cribs, and his dad was back there. And his dad, it's cool to have your dad around, but if your dad looks like he's indulging in being like one of the guys and not a parental guidance, it's kind of like, well, how much does he even kind of still show his son the right way and kind of be that hard, stern, just guidance and wisdom throughout certain things. You know what I mean? Like, and that just made me question that. Like, I don't know if he is just like down for the road and like kind of living vicariously through his son, or just being like, man, I'm just so happy to be a part of this life. I kind of just give him free reign. Or if he still, have those boundaries and things he set up for his son. But, I ain't trying to go with nobody parents or parenting, but it just made me question when I seen him on the video. And if I see you there, I can kind of question from that standpoint. So hopefully he goes on, man. I looked at the standings though, man. Honestly, dog, I thought they was going to have a worse record than what they do right now. They still the second seed in the West. and they only about 3 or 4 games behind the Nuggets, so they in pretty good shape, man. And hopefully Ja comes back and just ready to get dubs and really turn that smoke he was talking about into some real life, success for his team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hope so too, bro. But as far as T Morant, Ja's pops, I already know what time that is, bro. T Morant said, "Yo, my son got money. I still look fairly young. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't know what the situation with moms is, but I know T Morant is out there living, man. T Morant at the club, T Morant at the barbecue, T Morant in the streets, T Morant getting drinks." T. Morant smoking hookah and cigars. T. Morant is out living his life. You hear me?
Yeah.
And so, I'm not saying he don't tell John nothing.
Right.
But I think it got to get this bad for him to be like, yo, John, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Because before this, T was out there getting it in, bro. You know what I'm saying? Every time I seen T had a crew around him. You know what I'm saying? T one of them dudes with the earpiece in, you know what I mean? Hollering that cat in the front
row. Got the Bluetooth.
Yeah, he got the Bluetooth thing, you know what I'm saying? He got a cup of Henny with him. Like, T was chilling. You know
he ready to catch smoke with Shannon Sharp on the sidelines.
Yeah, like T ready to fight Shannon, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's just what it is. And so, you can't give every hood dude some money, bro. That's just what it is, bro. You can't. And so I think T has done a good job to this point raising his son. We can't deny that. Obviously, his son got a decent head enough on his shoulders to go to college, to play basketball, to be in the NBA, to make solid business decisions. With Nike and other endorsements. So clearly, he's done something right. But I'm just saying that now I think T's trying to reap his reward. Trying to live off the fruits of his labor. I can't blame him for that. I'm just saying that may not be his best position for Ja's health, for Ja's progression. And so, that's just kind of what it is, bro. But I think T out there living, and hopefully this situation takes him from living to, okay, let me holler at my son real quick because he clearly, isn't handling this how he should. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One last thing I'm going to say, man. I know one of his endorsements he lost was that Powerade endorsement, and they was about to make him kind of the flagship athlete of the company. I know, pretty much, like Jason Tatum, he's with Gatorade. I think they got a couple guys over there and with Gatorade. I want to say maybe Luka's over there too. So for him to kind of be on a competitor, I was like, man, that probably had to hurt. He still got Nike. I didn't expect Nike to drop him, not right now. But they said it may be like a probation type of thing with him and Powerade, where why he's hot right now and kind of got a lot of noise on him to ease up off of him and then maybe return back to the negotiating table to see if they go extend it or give it back to him. Do you think Ja though is like the best fitted for like the next face of the NBA? What you think about that? When you look at the guys.
Yeah. You got to think about it this way, bro. I mean, you got dudes like Tatum who are super like clean cut and stuff like that, which you always appreciate. They can always be marketed at any time, right? So I think of a dude like him. But I think the NBA and I think American sports such as football, basketball, baseball, even though there's been this international flavor, so dudes like, Jokic and others, Joel Embiid, Giannis, they all come from different countries. Yeah. The NBA is concerned with two things: another white superstar and another American superstar. And if they can get both wrapped in one, that's great. But if they can't, then they want at least one of each. Give me a white guy, and a white guy can literally be an Anglo-Saxon born here in the United States, or it could be a Luka type, or Dirk Nowitzki type, or whatever. Somebody with who's international but still has the white appeal. Yeah. But as far as an American superstar, John's right up there at the top, because you got to think about it. If you're not gonna necessarily go with Tatum, you also know that the NBA is an urban league, which means that the NBA is listening to a lot of hip hop, a lot of rap music. If you look at the hip hop scene, a lot of dudes with tats. You know what I'm saying? Dreads. Like, he fits the description. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to say it. I hate to sound like
a lot of cats with tats.
Nah, like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody tatted up like dudes at this point, this nigga makes him look hard. So like, cats is doing full sleeves now, and and all that. Like, it don't make you look that hard, but hey, that's what it is. And so like, that's kind of where the culture is moving, and Ja looks like the culture.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's perfect. Actually, he just can't live like the culture, which is the part of the business figured out. Yeah,
Right.
like,
Yeah, he got to know how to separate the look from the lifestyle, man. You can have the look, you know what I mean. You don't want to be caught up in a situation to where you are being more in the tabloids for the nonsense rather than being in the graces of the being praised as the athlete you are, with winning or getting MVPs and being decorated. You don't want the noise to be more about your nonsense opposed to it should have been about what you're doing on court. You know what I mean? And if you're doing stuff off court, you want to be like LeBron, like, they talking about you put up schools, or they talking about whatever, all this other stuff you're doing, just not the nonsense. You know what I mean? And there's been so much nonsense with him. I mean, fighting teenagers, lasers on Pacers. I mean, you and your daddy won't smoke with Shannon Sharp. I mean, what else is there to come with this guy? I mean, in the picture, when you talk about the picture of the dude back there with the shirt off, money everywhere. I mean, it looked like February snow everywhere. I mean, that boy made it rain, baby.
Dog, he was out there trying to break Harden record, bro. You know Harden got the record. Money in the strip club, 1.1 million in Houston.
Oh yeah, man, them cats, dog. It was he's hysterical, man. He definitely will be remembered for a lot of this stuff, but hopefully, what he goes on to do, man, on the court, supersedes all of this because he's still perfectly young. I think the guy's only 23, with a lot of promise, man. As long as he stay healthy and keep his head straight, man. It supposed to be your boy Zion, man. Zion had it written it all over him, man. He's a Duke, massive type of talent, body. We gonna save him for another segment, man, another day, because I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go in on Zion, man, and he definitely has had enough that's happened with him to be able to give him his full segment, man. But next, man, NBA playoff picture, man. We are probably, less than 10 games away from the regular season being done. In the seeding, and both of the conferences have now gotten really competitive. As far as the West, it's really been competitive between, I believe, like the 5th seed and like the 10th seed. It's like a 1 game or 2 game difference. And then in the East, it's getting real dicey at the top between the top 3 cats are in the race for that in that number 1 seed, man. But if the playoffs started today, this is what the seeding would look like and what the tourney would look like right now. As you see, we got number 1 seed sitting up there as expected right now, but I think that number 1 seed in the East is going to be really competitive between all 3 teams. I think who needs it the most, they was talking about this on First Take. I would say Boston needs it the most, or 76ers, because honestly, they going to have to face one each other in that second round if they don't do it. And with them being teams that haven't won a championship yet, Boston is battle tested, but I would just prefer them to be in that number 1 seed, because when you look at the roll in the tree, like that number 1 seed in the East is such an easy path. You talking about Toronto or Chicago more so being a chance who you face, and then the second round you only got that team that wins out of the 4 and the 5, which is New York or Cleveland, versus down there you got Miami probably is gonna get that 7 seed, and then you got 76ers and whoever will be in the number 2 seed, probably Boston, will have to be their second round, which we've seen that happen already. But how you feel about the playoff picture right now, man? What is this graphic telling you right now? You got any high alert worries, or you got anything else you see that's standing out?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think Boston needs the first seed. I think the one team in the East that needs as much help as they can get is Philadelphia. Philadelphia's got to chase that number 1 seed and continue to play all the way to the end. The reason why I say that is because though Joel Embiid thankfully has taken the reins as the NBA MVP, and I hope that stays for these last 10, 12 games, I hope he gets the dub. I still think he's dealing with the most inconsistent cast of any of the top 3 teams in the NBA. Yeah. Milwaukee, those dudes are going to play hard. I can trust the supporting cast in Milwaukee. I can trust the supporting cast of Boston. I know that there's depth there. They're deep. The guys who are playing on that bench are battle tested and are going to perform night in and night out. That may not always lead to a victory, but they got it. Philly, I don't even know if I can trust the co-stars, let alone the bench. Now, the names are there, and thank God there's guys like PJ Tucker who are on the roster who I think you can trust come playoff time. I still don't know about what Maxey looks like under pressure, though I think he's going to be fine. Yeah. I still don't know what he looks like under pressure. I think this is the calmest I've ever seen James Harden in a season, which is really good. And so that means that I expect at least an even playoff performance for one of the first times in a very long time. Mm-hmm. But I still don't know about the other guys. I still don't know if Daniel House is going to show up, though I like him, Nia and others. And so I like their bench. I think their bench is okay. Tobias Harris normally can't be found during playoff time, so I'm hoping he's around. But
a lot of that happening over there in the Philly, man.
Yeah, but I say this though: if they get the number 1 seed, well, then I'm expecting that is a boast and that they get to play all of their games at home. And
you talking about Philly, right?
Yeah, Philly. If they get their number 1 seed and they do play all their games at home, then they got a good shot of finally getting past that second round, getting in the Eastern Conference Finals, and doing what I think they've been able to do for the last couple of years. It just hasn't come together. So that's what I'm seeing. I think that's my biggest takeaway. In the West, still a crapshoot, but I think all that changes when KD comes back. I think when he's back on the floor, that's the team to beat. I think the Nuggets are still beatable by all 6 teams in the Western Conference come playoff picture time. Mainly because something happens to them in the playoffs to where they kind of just become regular. And so I'm expecting that same trend to happen. And I think it's going to be an indictment on Jokic that he was talked about so heavily and still can't really get over the hump. That conversation is going to continue. But in the West, it's a crapshoot until KD comes back, and then I fully expect Phoenix to do what they have to do and get to the Western Conference Finals and hopefully the finals against either. It's so funny. I'm a Celtics fan, so of course ultimately, I want us to be there. I want us to represent the East. If for some reason we didn't, I would take it as a failure. But if for some reason we didn't, then I want Philly there, man, because Philly, to me. Dude.
You want Philly there? What you mean you want Philly there? Are you saying you want them there, or are you talking about objectively? What you mean by that?
No, I'm saying like if my Celtics first, I want us there first no matter what. I'm saying
right.
If something
you saying who you rooting for then?
Yeah, like I'm saying, like if something happens, like let's say Tatum gets injured, so we can't make it for some crazy reason or something like that. We lose a key member of the supporting cast, which can happen to any team in the playoffs, and we get knocked out somehow. Then the team that I want there, if not us, is Philly. Mainly because I feel like Milwaukee's got a chip, and if it's not us, there's only one player I feel like has put in the work to this point to finally get his chance to play on the big stage, and that's Joel. He just can't trust the people around him. I hope they don't let him down this year, bro, because he's going to do his thing.
All right, so we're going to backtrack a little bit, go back to your Philly takes. I want to read you off some numbers of James Harden last night.
Okay.
He was at negative 11 with the plus minus, 5 points on 2 of 14 shooting, and 0 of 6 behind the line with 5 turnovers. How we feel about that? I think as the playoffs start to approach, he's starting to return back to original form. Cancun on 3. 1, 2, 3.
This man said original form, bro. I'm tired.
Oh yeah, he started. Hey, the original Harden is starting to return, baby. Hey man, look. This is one thing I feel like, bro, is a for sure thing, is James Harden will return and remind himself of who he really is. A great regular season player that fails to really elevate his game in the playoffs, no matter the surroundings. I mean, this guy's played with a great amount of cast members. You know what I mean? Same guy that was on the team with Kyrie, with KD. You had James Harden, Joel Embiid last year. Had Russ, CP3, Clint Capella. I mean, he's had a lot of guys. We ain't gonna say what he had back in OKC because he was still a minor guy back then. But he's had cats love to try to give my boy Russ a lot of crap for all the guys he's surrounded himself with. But James Harden is right there with him. You know what I'm saying? Right there. And he's failed to lead. And he's been the number one on a lot of these teams. So we have to look at that. I think that's a conversation that definitely is supposed to be a part of the conversation. Philly, I don't really look at it. If I'm only rooting for my team, right? So if my Lakers are my Lakers, I ain't going to say who I prefer to be next after if we don't. I would just say who I would think would be there objectively. I would think Milwaukee would be there. And if Milwaukee goes up against the Suns like you were suspecting, I would have them beating Suns. I don't see the Suns beating really anybody out the East except the Sixers. If they verse Boston or the Bucks, I'm getting them out of there. But the reason I'm saying that is because I don't even think the Suns are going to get there, though. So my level of regard for the Suns is probably totally different than yours. You feel like that's the team to beat. I don't. I don't think there's a team in the West that really is the team to beat. Nobody's a juggernaut. KD body is a body that's made of glass. I mean, and then Devin Booker and CP3. Devin Booker is a bucket. I'm still there with him, and I feel like that's all he's been since he's entered the league. A consistent bucket. He hasn't been the guy that goes on the other side of the defense and starts to turn up and really say, I'm a lockdown. He's not a natural born leader.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. Let me rip off on this guy right quick.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. I got it. This is a Devin Booker ripoff. I ripped off on your boy in the East. Let's rip off on somebody in the West. Hey, look, Devin Booker for me, bro, has been a consistent bucket. That's pretty much it. He's not the two-way guys like when you look at a Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. He's not that. And when you look at DeAndre Ayton, yeah, he's a big that I've never believed in, right? He's a big that I've never believed in. What about you? You got a lot. You got a lot of high stock on DeAndre Ayton? What are you gonna do when he down there banging with Joel Embiid and Giannis?
So here's the thing, right? And I just for me, I try to be as objective as possible.
Right.
As far as Booker is concerned, I think he's predominantly been a bucket in the league. I won't disagree on that. I also think he's an underrated defender, though. Booker's not just getting cooked against the top guards in the NBA. He holds his own. Now, obviously, you're not gonna. To me, no matter how good of a defender you are, unless you're Drew Holiday level, you're not really going to stop a star player from doing what they do. Your best bet is to contain him. And that's what I think Devin Booker does. I don't think people pick on Devin Booker on the defensive side. I don't think people go, oh yeah, isolation. I got Book in front of me. I don't think that happens at all. So for me, Book is a solid NBA defender. Not great, not amazing, just solid. He's a guy that
he's just a guy with a jersey on his or a number on his back on the defense. That's all he is. He may not be the guy to say, "Oh yeah, let's go pick on him," but I mean, he doesn't make cats second guess if he's down there.
Nobody's calling for Booker in the pick and roll either, though. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's like, let me abuse this dude. Isolation. I don't think that happens. I think it's like, Book can play. I still think I can cook Book, but Book can play. And it's kind of no discussion, but it's not like, oh, give me Booker. I'm getting ready to go for 50. I don't think it's that. So that's what I would say for Booker as far as the defensive end.
Before you get off on him, will Booker ever win or get on an all defensive team in the NBA?
I'll say this: he has the skill set to do it. He has the skill set to do it. He's not incapable like some guys you mentioned.
Hey, the way you just did.
Luka will never be on a defensive team. Book could be.
Okay, let's get to DeAndre Ayton. What we got next, man?
As far as DeAndre Ayton, though, DeAndre Ayton actually holds his own against everybody not named Embiid and Giannis. But think about it.
Hey man, he gonna have to see them. If you pick these guys to be in the finals, right? You feel like that's your pick out of the West. I mean, it's a high chance. At minimum, he's gonna have to see one of those guys.
One of those
right?
guys for sure.
So what you feel? I mean, in that vacuum picture, it'd be kind of an obliteration. Would you say?
Well, let me say it this way. Name any team in the top 6 of either conference besides Joel or Giannis themselves who can stop Joel and Giannis.
Who can stop him? I mean,
any team in the Eastern Conference in the top 6,
right?
Any team in the Western Conference in the top 6, who has the tools to stop either Embiid or Giannis? Anyone.
Boston Celtics, when they build a wall down there, we've seen what they're able to not stop them, but they are going to make somebody like a Giannis, because Joel Embiid is probably tougher because he has an outside jumper consistently. Giannis, he can feel good enough to start shooting from the outside, but that's not a part of his game. But Al Horford, we've seen, they got the type of pedigree in the dogs over there, Robert Williams, right? And they just got guys that you can throw at him multiple times that's going to make him have to not be so comfortable with his game. He's not going to change his game. He's going to still bang up on you, whoever down there. But he ain't as comfortable when you got that wall and that type of pedigree that they built with over in Boston. And they beat them. Boston's not afraid of Giannis. They beat them.
Let me say this. I'm objective as a Boston fan. I think we can beat anybody in this league we can beat.
Right.
There's just one team. I hope it doesn't get hot, but we don't have to talk about them. I bet you.
You talking about New York? Yeah, you talking about New York Knicks.
So that's fine. I think we can beat anybody in the league, including Giannis. However, I have to be objective and honest. You know, Giannis averaged like 36 against us by himself last year, right?
Yeah.
You also know that he wasn't fully equipped last year because we didn't have to play Chris Middleton last year, which means the spacing was as bad as it's possibly going to get for Milwaukee, and the man still had 36 a game against us. So,
hey, look,
I believe in our centers. I believe in Horford. I believe in Robert Williams. I think we have the best front court defense, if not the best defense in the NBA, in my opinion, when we're playing well. Right. However, despite me saying that, I just got to be honest. No one stops Giannis Antetokounmpo.
You're not stopping him now. He's not. But look, he's not comfortable. But look, he's not comfortable. I would go to say that he's not shooting the highest field goal range when it comes to teams like Boston, because he's going to go to the line a lot, and he goes to the line and gets a lot of buckets there. So he's going to, bro, by default, he's a walking 30, 12, and 5. I mean, no matter how, that's just where he is today. Yeah. Almost like he's a walking 30, 12, and 5. That's what he is. But sometimes it's not going to be the most efficient, and he may go to the line 15 times. Like, he's done that pretty consistently. So, I mean, is there a lot of guys that can stop them? No. You know what I mean? They can't even stop each other when they match up, right? AD, if he was the real AD, he really can bother all of those guys. You know what I mean?
That's the one guy in the entire NBA that if he goes against Giannis, actually I've never seen him stop Embiid. I ain't gonna lie to you. But if he goes against Giannis specifically, Giannis is gonna have some trouble with championship level AD.
I still think outside of that Clippers versus Kings game, which is I probably came because the score was too high. I wasn't no defense. But that I think we played Milwaukee for Christmas or around the Christmas season. That game where we had everybody. This was even when we had Russ. And LeBron had about 30-something. Giannis and AD had 40 piece. It was a haymaker match. I mean, that probably was the best game as far as entertainment and watchability that I saw this year, bro. And AD actually topped Giannis in that game, bro. He actually arose to that occasion, bro. But yeah, man, I mean, the playoff picture, man, we can take a look at this graphic one more time, man. Give some love to some of these bottom feeder teams. Come on now, man. Hey, man, you see my Lakers somehow ain't even in the picture right now. We one game out. I think Jazz won last night, and then Minnesota won again last night. So we right up underneath those teams. We would be facing probably OKC, right? And I would prefer going. I would prefer going that route. I want to go on that top bracket rather than that bottom bracket, because you got to worry about Golden State that can probably hit that switch at any moment, right? And then I think Memphis is more serious than Denver now that Ja's about to be back in the picture. And in that other route, you got Clippers. I would love them versus in the second round if that was that was what it was going to be, because if I can see us taking Denver, bro. My Lakers. I can see us taking Denver, bro. If LeBron's back, you know what I'm saying? AD. Yeah, hey, bro, you just said anybody can beat Denver, bro.
Absolutely not, bro. Hold on now. Wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute.
Why not?
A daggone minute, bro. Y'all can beat Denver right now?
No, I'm saying once everybody gets back. LeBron's back. AD's healthy.
Y'all haven't had enough time. Now, I'll say this. Had y'all had this squad from the beginning of the year, chemistry built, LeBron healthy, everybody good, maybe we have that discussion for sure. Because I like the way that this team is well balanced from top to bottom.
Yeah.
But LeBron just coming back off injury, maybe he plays 2 or 3 games before the playoffs, and then you're saying, oh, we got Denver round 1, we ready to go. I don't see that. Y'all ain't beating Denver this year, because the thing about it is LeBron is going to have to get acclimated. He's going to be jumping right into the fire in the playoffs. Let's say the Lakers do come out and y'all the 8 seed 1 versus 8. I don't see it, bro. It's too much to overcome.
Let me ask you this right here. Is this team, Denver Nuggets, better than that championship run Suns team 2 years ago? I'm asking it for a reason.
I would say this.
See, come on.
No. I'm trying to be honest.
All right, let me hear what you got. What you got?
I think I would say, I think they're about neck and neck. So they're not much better, no. If they are better, they're not much better, but I would probably say they're either the same or a little worse, personally.
Right. Okay. So in essence, you saying they about neck and neck, but if you had to pick one, you going with Suns.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the reason I'm saying that is because that same team. Remember, it was a first round, 1 versus 8. My Lakers, and we were up 2-1 versus them. This was a hobbled. I would say a much hobbled more AD, which he goes down, but we were up 2-1 on them. Now it's kind of vice versa. We may be dealing with a more hobbled LeBron than a more hobbled AD on this go around, but this team isn't necessarily better than that Suns. And if I'm saying this squad has a chance, I think, like you said, yes, I think we wouldn't be in this position if we had this team from the start of the season. With you speaking about Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, all these guys. AR's playing amazing, had 35 for us the other night. If we had those guys and we were gelling, like let's say we had them literally right at the beginning of the All-Star game, everybody healthy, going into it now instead of everybody taking breaks and Bron's out, AD go out, I think we definitely will not be in this position. But I still think it's a chance for us, bro, with those guys being back, Brian being back, that we can take this Denver squad, bro. Because, man, these guys, bro, Denver has been great. And what's name has been winning MVPs for the last consecutive 2 seasons. And they've been going out in the first round at times, going out in the second round at times. You know what I'm saying? Like
no Jamal, no MPJ, who both of those guys are playing well. And also this, the ascension.
It can happen again.
Sure, it could, but I'm saying healthy versus healthy here. Also, the ascension of Aaron Gordon.
Oh, no, we're not finna start saying ascension when all he's done has been a great role player. Now, the ascension is like what? He's ascended to a great role player?
Wait. We talked about this. We talked about this not too long ago.
Yeah.
Could Aaron Gordon have been an All-Star this year and it would not have been blasphemy? Absolutely. What are we talking about?
I didn't agree with that. I think that was one of your takes.
Oh, man.
Look, he's a great. I give him most improved player. Let's give him something like that. We ain't finna just start jumping head over heels for him now, right?
What I'm saying is, okay, last time we spoke, you be doing this, bro. You be trying to switch it up, bro. Last time we spoke, I said, were you in uproar when you seen Jaren Jackson get the All-Star nod?
Yes.
You said, nah, not really, but, I still think my guy AD deserved it. I said, well, you didn't go crazy over Jaren Jackson getting the nod, but you felt like AD deserved it. I can respect that. But don't tell me that Jaren Jackson this year and Aaron Gordon are in 2 different places as it takes impact on teams and stuff like that.
They not.
Bro, Aaron Gordon this year has been just as good, if not better, than Jaren Jackson, who was an All-Star this year, bro. For the Grizzlies, he's been just as good, if not better, for the Nuggets. So when I say ascension of Aaron Gordon, I'm saying we wouldn't have considered him an All-Star any other year, and this year he could have very well played an All-Star game, and nobody would have said, "Oh, that's a terrible pick," or "What is he doing there?" Everybody would have been like, "Well, yeah, he's been balling this year. Okay, no big deal." That's what I'm saying. So,
yeah, I guess, man. Yeah, we shall see, man. But I'm telling you, man, I'm
giving no love, bro. I swear, bro.
Hey, bro, if we gotta worry about the Aaron Gordons of the world, yeah, my Lakers, I feel good about that. I'm saying personally for my Lakers.
Wait a minute. How many Aaron Gordons do y'all have on y'all roster?
Bro, we got a couple cats over there. Rui Hachimura is every bit of that type of cat, bro.
Shut up,
hey, he's a bucket. He's a bucket.
You're playing with me now.
Hey, look. Rui. Hey, so you telling me Rui Hachimura is not a great role player? He's been great for us.
He's got Aaron Gordon.
Bro, what's the gap? What's the gap between them? It ain't wide.
Bro, stop it.
Bro, come on, man.
Rui's a good player, bro. He's a guy that you would.
He's what, second-year player?
He's a guy that you want to bring off your bench. He's resourceful. I'll give you all of that. We are not about to sit here and say that Rui Hachimura is Aaron Gordon. As a matter of fact, in no point of Aaron Gordon's career has he been as bad as Rui Hachimura. And that includes the Magic days. There's no point where Rui Hachimura and Aaron Gordon were the same player. Ever.
Well, hold on, bro. Rui Hachimura has been in the league for what, 2 years, bro? We talking. How long has Aaron Gordon been in the league?
Rui Hachimura's been in the league for like 3 or 4 years. I mean, he's not a brand new player. He was drafted at least 3 or 4 years ago. Aaron Gordon's probably been in the league for double that time, 8 years. And I'm saying if you took Aaron Gordon's first couple of years with the Magic, he was averaging about 17, 18 a game. Nah. It was the featured player over there. Rui Hachimura has never been that good. And I think Aaron Gordon.
He hasn't. I'm saying that where they are now, they just are both great role. I'm just saying where they are now. I think they both are great role players, and I'm not worried about Aaron Gordon when it comes to my Lakers, bro. Like I'm the only person I'm really worried about is Jokic. That's it. I mean, Jokic is a centerpiece. He makes everybody elevate their game because of his facilitation, him being able to draw. You know, he's what he is over there for them, and he's the bread and butter over there. But I mean, like I said, that's why I put up that Suns situation, because that wasn't the type of team over there. Suns had a for sure point guard that was a leader. You had a bucket and what's the name, and then you had a bunch of pieces outside of that. You ain't have to worry about really just one guy. Murray doesn't scare me. Michael Porter Jr. definitely don't scare me. I mean, if I'm on the court with me personally on the court with Michael Porter, I would not fear at all. He just doesn't have that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? He came in the league with too much bark and not enough bite, man. And that's what he's phased out. And that's what it's phased out to be, man. So, man, I think right now, I gotta say, like, my Lakers, dog. You know, we are hopeful. I wouldn't say we don't have no hope. You know what I mean? But we are hopeful. Some things can go our way when you look at the seeding. Like, bro, it literally is only about 1.5 game between where we are today and where the 6th seed is, and we wouldn't have to worry about the tourney. So I would feel good about that. We would have to play somebody like a Kings. I think Kings is a number 3 seed right now. So if we got that 6th seed, I would feel good about them.
Would you?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, see, you one of those.
You just said it's nobody in the bro. If you told me it's a lot of party or it's a crapshoot in the West,
it is.
Why are you surprised that I'm feeling good versus so many people?
It is. I'm saying it's who you're feeling good against. For instance,
anybody.
If you were feeling good against Dallas, you would get no objections from you, because I see exactly what you're talking about. If you said you were feeling good against who else is there at the top? Let's see, Denver. Who's number 2? Memphis.
Memphis.
I actually think the way that you guys match up. If you said that you were feeling good against Memphis, I can kind of understand that. It's the teams you're mentioning. So, for instance,
only team, bro. You want me to tell you the team I don't feel good against? Golden State is the only team I would stray away from. Everybody else, I'm not worried. I'm not.
Everybody's a little afraid. Everybody's a little afraid.
Yeah, I'm not trying to mess with Golden State. That's the only team, but everybody else.
Now hold on. I don't know if you've watched, and listen. I never thought on this platform or any other I would ever say this out of my mouth because it still don't make any sense. I don't even know how this happened.
What's that?
But the Sacramento Kings are damn good. Like they're not decent. They're good, like real good. Right. Like to the point where I've watched it in the last 2 weeks and been like, oh crap, I thought this was a joke. I thought they were gonna fly out somewhere and we wouldn't even have to deal with them. You know, Golden State or even the Lakers would be somewhere where they are and the Kings would be, you know, in Cancun somewhere. That is not the case. The Kings are great, dog, and I'm telling you, between Fox, who is the best fourth quarter player in the NBA this year, and I've watched it firsthand when he took dudes out and took teams out single-handedly. To Sabonis, who I think has always been a good player. Sabonis has always been a good player, but he's elevated his game. And then there's the white kid over there from Atlanta, Kevin Huerter. That dude has changed his entire mindset. He's shooting the ball like Klay Thompson over there, bro. It's crazy. So I'm saying like this. I think Sacramento's young. I don't want to go over the top. I've tried to dismiss them all year, so you know I'm not trying to give them no credit. We haven't even had no conversations about Sacramento, and we're about 8-9 episodes in, however we are, whatever this episode is right now.
Right.
So you know I'm not trying to show them a whole bunch of love and go crazy. But what I am saying is, I don't want to play the Kings if I'm anybody in the West because they're liable to do something and beat you. They're that good the way that they play. They follow the system, and they got a guard over there who is lightning fast and gets better as the quarters progress. I don't want to see the Kings. I don't think anybody should be like, yeah, if I see the Kings, I'm good. Even Golden State, I would say, who is championship tested. The way the Kings play doesn't necessarily play into their favor. Nobody should just want to see the Kings, bro. I'm telling you. And I'm not looking to give this team no extra credit. I'm just being honest. The Kings are really good, bro. I'm telling you.
Nah, man, look. The King, I wouldn't go as far as saying great. You gotta accomplish great things to be great. And just being great in a regular season doesn't really translate to great in the postseason. Now, we've seen this movie 1,000 times, and always who's been the biggest star in it is James Harden. It keeps getting back to James. It just keeps getting back to James. I mean, he never fails. And look, man, I don't like to, you know, if I'm in a league, right, if I'm Fox and, you know, you listening to talking heads like we are or some of these cats on the media or whatever, and they kind of downplaying us because we aren't battle tested or inexperienced, you know, that's going in one year and out the other, but I'm definitely using that to motivate me. But we have more evidence in the history of the game than what we can try to forecast in the future of the game. And history tells us, like, bro, the postseason is different. It slows down. It's about defense. And you got to be able to adjust. And coaching becomes a huge thing. Who's the coach over there? Mike Brown, okay. He has been a great coach this year. He's been through a lot of, you know, different teams that have been championship bred. So I'll give him that. Yeah, I'll give him that. Probably coach of the year. I can give him that for sure because nobody had them written in as the top 4 seed in the West. Nobody. I mean, that's probably the biggest surprise of the year. I'll give him that. So I feel like they are good there. But is it enough to be like, I don't feel good about them for my Lakers? It's not. You know what I mean? It's not. I think Fox is amazing. They got that new award when it comes to Clutch Player of the Year. I think he has to get that. Sabonis, he was didn't Sabonis get picked up at the All-Star break for them? He wasn't always over there, was he?
A year ago, though. That was the Halliburton trade. So a year ago.
Okay. Yeah, Sabonis, he's a good big over there. I like him a lot. Like you said, you mentioned Huerter earlier. Nice pickup. But I think they nucleus over there off the bench is definitely Monk. Hate that we let him go for my Lakers, man.
He's good, bro.
He's amazing. Oh, he was. He was a bit streaky for us, but I know him and Fox were teammates back in where did they go? Kentucky. And you know that their chemistry is still there. So you can definitely see them feeding off of one another. I expect them to have nights where they go 30 apiece in the playoffs, probably. As they did earlier this year, they had 40 apiece a couple games when they versed Clippers. That game was insane. It was like in the 170 club. So, man, I mean, they are great as far as what they've accomplished in the regular season. But I think, it may be a different story for them come the playoffs. And right now, they set up to be facing Golden State. And if you ask me who I'm picking in that face-off, I'm going Golden State. Wiggins not even out for he's not even out for injury right now. I was reading up on him recently. He's out for some personal reasons right now. So
I hope the personal reasons that I read about are not true because
yeah. What are they talking? They attacking him on his woman or cheating scandals. What's going on with that? Did you see that? Is that what you read?
I'm gonna tell you what I've read. Now I cannot confirm or deny this.
Here we go.
But they said that Andrew Wiggins woke up one day to the understanding that the two kids living in this house that he thought were his were not, and they were actually his best friends. And him and his best friend and his wife have been having an affair since college. And those kids are actually his best friend's kids. That's what I've heard.
Now come on. See, you did more digging than me. I kind of just skimmed through it because I was trying to figure out why is he not in the lineup? Because I started looking at the record. They 77 and like 27 on the road. I'm like, man, when is he coming back? Because maybe he can fix this. And then I started to read into that, but I didn't see where he was woke up. I shouldn't be laughing, man. What you said, apparently he's woken up to the idea or the possibility that his kids he's been parenting. He's married. Is he married?
Married, bro.
And their kids may not be his. And it's his best. It's already crazy if it's not yours. But and it's your best friend?
Best friend, bro.
Oh, really yeah. Now I understand why he's been out for at least a month or so now.
Bro, I'm not coming back. I'm trying to let you know right now, bro. The next time you may see me, I may be in the precinct, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
How old are the kids, dog?
I think they're toddlers, so maybe like 3 and 4 or something like that. Like they're young.
Yeah.
They're young
Thank the Lord the kids ain't teenagers, but still 3 or 4 years of pouring in money in kids and having this and under the belief that these are mine and I'm doing all of this. Yeah, man. I wonder what led to the assumption or the possibility of that. He was looking at him and he was realizing things looked like him or something. Or what? Here you go. See, come on, man. Don't start getting laughing. Come on. You got to stop that. Well, what was going on? Did he get
he was looking at him.
I mean, hey, you got to start looking at your kids, dog, for real.
That boy started staring at them kids in the face and said, wait a minute.
That
Negro don't look like me. What is going on? Absolutely not. I ain't getting ready to.
Somebody gave him dropped him a clue or something, or what was up?
Bro, I don't know exactly how you found out, but I do know that is the consistent story that I've come across, and so I'm praying because I hope that's not true. That's ridiculous for anybody to go through.
That's horrendous, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like millions of dollars don't even wash that away. That's some hurt. You know what I mean? He gonna have to take some time, but
yeah.
I'm hoping it's not true, and that maybe it's something that somebody just kind of dropped this catching fire from all these publications. Mm-hmm. Like that's what everybody's writing, and I don't know how you found out, but I can't even imagine that. That's crazy, bro. So.
Yeah, that's crazy. I would immediately probably told everybody everything's on a hold. I need some time for sure, dog. Man. You already know what time it is, man. It's a music and sport podcast where we always talking about music and sports. As we come to the end of the first quarter, we are in the month of March. You know what I'm saying? Best music of the first quarter? Man, well, I guess, this young lady right here has been standing out. It looks like, I wish y'all could see Kenny's face right now. He's so sick of her. Oh, my God. You ain't right for that, man. But anyways, man, this is a screenshot right here of Nicki Minaj calling none other than the great Ice Spice the people's princess. Man, what are your immediate thoughts about that, man? It looks like Ice is the new princess of rap. What do you think? Is she deserving of that? Has she earned her just due? Look at his face, y'all. Oh God, come
Bro.
on, man. Give my girl some love, man. I got to get on the screen now, man, because you killing her too bad by just looking.
Absolutely not. What are we talking about? This girl has 3 singles, bro, that everybody knows. Maybe 2 and a half.
She got an EP out, dog. She putting in work. Straight up.
The EP? You was super impressed by that EP? You thought it was amazing? You got the bug in rotation? Absolutely not, bro.
I got about 2 records in a rotation. I got 2.
That's what I'm saying. A record, if that. Let's stop the magic. What is going on? Like, yeah, bro. Like, we try to crown too many princesses and queens and all that. Look, everybody, ladies, I understand. All y'all are queens and high value and worth. And I agree with that. I rock with all of that. But at a certain point, just like I think, any artist worth their salt we should wait before we throw titles, or when we talk basketball and we say, hey, that guy's balling, but he hasn't quite, earned a certain nod or a certain level of esteem from the public. Mm-hmm. We got to be careful, man. But it seems like we're crowning somebody every time. Like she's overtaking the place of Cardi B. She's taking over Nicki Minaj spot. She's done more work than, and maybe you want to say that Doja's not hip hop, but she's done what Doja's done. No, she doesn't belong in the same sentence as either of the 3 women I'm named, and I could probably do more off the top of my head. We gotta relax. Like, does she got a little swag? Cool. Does she have a viral moment? Yes. Is she kind of on fire right now? Cool. Personally, Glorilla has done more work than her, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just no way. Now, she's more attractive, so if that's what you want to say. If you want to say, look, she's doing that, plus, how she looks, this is what it is. Okay, cool, then say that. But don't try to call this girl a princess of rap. We gotta relax. Like, tell her to sit down, bro. Take several seats, as a matter of fact.
Oh, God, come on, man. We can't do that. Look, let me get into this, man. So, I mean, it does have to hold some weight when the queen of rap, right, which is Nicki. I think we all kind of sit at that space where we recognize that to be true. We not debating where Nicki placement is when it comes to that. But when she give you the cosign, princess of rap, I think that has to hold some type of weight. Nicki has, she has, jumped out there and kind of like spoken on people. I can't, at least in my recollection of her saying anybody as the princess of rap. She has songs with Megan Thee Stallion. She seems to be beefing with Meg now. She on Afro Horses since Christopher Reeves, the Emphasis boy, to Rolling Loud, right? From the start, Nicki had always had problems with Cardi B. It seemed like, at least they fans, the Barb's verse, I'm not sure what Cardi called that game, Barty Gang, I think something like that. They've always been pinning up against each other. And then, yes, I would go as to say, because for the longest, I was always trying to put Doja in that space of being, still a part of the rap females. But, as she's like on number 2 album now and in her collaborations and kind of where she gets even rewarded as far as nominations, they put her in a different category. So I think you got to kind of X her out and just leave her out of the conversation. But that's not taking away from her greatness. I think the very instance of her deciding to give us a full rap album, she easily probably can take that crown as that. But until then, we kind of got to reserve that for somebody else. When you said Cardi easily should have been that, but she has not. She's like, I think we had a conversation. She's on the clock. She's on the clock, bro. She's still riding off the back of Invasion of Privacy that came out 5 years ago in 2018.
She's dropped the project since then, no word. We got that record with Ye and Dirk on it.
She dropped a single. That in the project. You talking about? I mean, she dropped a couple singles. You got Up that came, but WAP is not on the project, which is the number 1. Up is not on the project, which is I think a top 10. Which has she dropped single? Has she been semi active? Yes, but 5 years, you still on your freshman project. If it's anybody in the rap, like the male side, they not gonna uphold being the guy that's running it, right?
Well, look, in fairness to her, right? Just because on the fella side we don't have to deal with this, right? Mm-hmm. Pregnancy, right? Dealing with kids, stuff like that. I think her life was a little bit more hectic because of those reasons, and I do think she'd be more outside and more active if she wasn't adjusting to being a mother and having multiple pregnancies and stuff like that, bro. I think
you can shoot her some bail, but I'm probably not gonna shoot her that type of bail. With
why
me,
not?
I mean, because that doesn't take away the fact that you can make music. Is it more difficult? Can I not make an album in 5 years? We've seen others have. I'm not speaking from experience. I'm speaking from being an observer of the field, right? There's been women that's made music under the state of being pregnant. Right, I know that's just gonna sound crazy. They probably gonna.
You about to get crucified, bro.
But look, I give the disclaimer of I'm not speaking from experience. I can't imagine it. I wouldn't even pray. I wouldn't pray that against nobody. But I'm saying from other female artists, albums and music and even tours and things of that nature, shows have been done under being pregnant. But, I do think it may take away from how active she can be, how much she can drop. But one album in 5 years, I think that's fair to have question as to you holding a certain space in female hip hop when others are now starting to come around and also be active. You always up against the competitors. She hasn't created that amount of distance to where she just got that locked up and sold up. You know what I mean? I think for a second she did, maybe even for a year or so she did. But now, I think she's definitely on the clock. You know what I mean? She's not pregnant now. She's not pregnant now.
I think that's fair, bro. I'll say this: when it comes to matters like that, though, I think everybody's adjustment period is bigger. I think that's why Nicki kind of was thinking about not doing rap anymore, not being who she is because of being a new mother and family and adjustment. And so I think for women, it takes a different level of toll than it does on the men, because Drake can have a baby and still move around and be outside the next day. Like not quite the same for the ladies. So I'm only speaking from that perspective. It's not to shoot her a bunch of bail she doesn't deserve or whatever, but it is to say, like, look, I think Cardi has done enough to still keep her position at Ice Spice. What's going on, bro? Like, what are we talking about here?
Hey, man, hold on, dog. You got to say, look, I want to say this. Look, man, I know you want to, if the moment I brought up Ice Spice on her, it was a kind of comical moment. But look, let me say this about Ice. She's the people champ, bro. She's the people's champ. The people band behind Ice, bro. When it comes to the community of kind of where that female space is of hip hop, bro. And even on the guy side, I think, it's kind of obvious why the guys kind of band behind her. She got the image, but as far as like how she moved, bro, she moves swiftly. She keep the emphasis on the music. She on Rolling Loud doing the thing. And the other person I kind of compared her to, because I think they kind of had similar interests or similar trajectories, was Coi Leray. Coi Leray, she does a lot of things that necessarily be like, where the music at? And now I think if you was a Coi Leray fan and you was hearing my opinion, I think you got some room to push back now, because I do see her actively starting to shift that narrative back to the music. Like that Players Club song, I think is one of the I think it's number one on US rhythmic urban charts or something right now. But I kind of got a problem with how they been promoting it. She has like 5 different versions of it where they kind of keep re-campaigning it. But look, you work a single until it goes to whatever goals you had out for it. So if you got the budget, do it. I'm just kind of coming from a standpoint of what an artist, like how that looks and how much you got to put into something if it's not really about the music, but about all the things you put around it. So yeah. I think I kind of compared her because Ice, everything's been organic, bro. It's just been the music. It's just been doing these shows. She been picking the right features to do. The song that she had with the I think it's called Bad Liar. I forgot the girl's name. That went top number 3, all genres. So she's making some noise, bro. And it's not just about how she look or the image. She's had some success actually from the music, bro. We got to get it up to her.
Let me ask you this, bro. See, and this is why I hate to have to be this guy in the podcast, bro. But I gotta ask you this. Negroes always try to act like one thing until you ask them the real question that needs to be asked.
What's that?
If Ice Spice looked like Precious, would you open the album?
If she looked like Precious,
yes,
I would. If the music was actually dark. Look, let me give you an instance.
Would you be rocking with the movement? Would you be like, oh yeah, Ice Spice is next up. She's the princess. Same music, same swag. She just looked like Precious. That's it. That's the only difference. But
you have to be. Look, if I praise the music regardless of who it is or whatever they look like. But would I say she can be like the next the next doesn't depend on the music. The next depends on all these other elements that's the reason as to why you say they the next. Do they have an image? You know, I always say that. That does matter no matter how many people, like, no matter how dope the music is. Can they translate from just what you see on the internet, TikTok songs, to selling hard tickets? Can they, you know what I mean? All these things matters. And I think Ice Spice, she checks off all those things. She has the image. I think she has the personality and the it factor that people like her. She got the music, and she's keeping the emphasis on the music. But look, let me give you one instance, bro. So it's a girl named Chica that makes music, and she's a female artist, and she really can rap. Like, she bars up. If you go on my What's the Word YouTube channel, I got reactions to her music, and I'm giving her high praise. But I always give the disclaimer or just give a side note of saying as to why some people may not be able to go to the next level. Not personally for me. If it was me as a tastemaker and who was in control of being the next, I would put a lot of priority and emphasis on the music and not a lot of the other things that doesn't really matter to a real musician or artist, right? But it's an industry, and the music industry is 90% business rather than the music. Anybody in the industry would tell you that, right? So unfortunately, some of these people suffer from that. A lot of people suffer from that. You know, that's why you have songwriters. Songwriters is something that's kind of a product of that. You know what I mean? Right. They have all the talent in the world, but they just they don't have the showmanship. They don't have the image. They don't have the connectivity between the consumer and the artist. So, you know, I would say yes, I would. If the music was dope, I would rave about it no matter what. Would I be saying they the next? It just depends on other elements. And I think that's fair. It's not being biased. You know what I mean? So,
all right, I had to ask, bro, because
he catch thought he had me in the corner, dog. Look, you want to get
bro. I just be feeling like catch.
Man.
And then you be like, man, but what really is it? Let's keep it a buck.
Hey, but look, you know, I was kind of a little bit reserved, like on the first. I think we talked about Ice literally the first episode, bro.
We did,
but I was like, I wasn't a fan yet. Because I can easily become a fan if she continues to do what she's done, and we're 3 months down the lane from that. She's continued to do that, continue to have success, and her and her team are moving pretty swiftly and precise, man. And I only can salute that. So I could definitely say I'm a fan now.
Sure.
But, you know, we shall see, man. Man, when it comes to standout projects of the first quarter, man, who you got? We may have spoken about some of them already early in this podcast. But who's some of the people that stick out from you, man? Male and female side, whoever you got.
SZA dropped this year, did she not?
I kind of still counted that she dropped this year. She dropped in December, actually, but the life of it is living, you know, primarily in 2023. So we can accept that for sure.
Yeah, SZA's been on repeat, man.
Yeah.
One of the projects I've gone back to a lot, kind of listen to her artistry. She always does it for me eventually. Even if SZA drops something that I don't initially like fall in love with, I'm like, let me spin the block on this when I got cleaner ears, and then I'll come back. And normally when I do, I'm like, yep, this is as good as people thought it was when they probably first heard it or whatever. It just took me however long for whatever reason. And so yeah, SZA continues to ring for me as one of those, like, oh, I love what she does, and I think like her formula is one that doesn't get me tired. I'm trying to think, what else have we discussed in this podcast? Because I be having trouble thinking about what has dropped kind of like last quarter versus first quarter this year. So what are some of the projects where, just remind me that we've discussed that have dropped this year? Oh, Dante, my bad.
Yeah, Don Tyler, that was the one we just...
Of course, sheesh. Still playing that joint. That thing is crazy. Put some people onto it recently. Had some discussions about it. So yeah, continues to live with me for sure. And I know that dropped first quarter this year. So I would say those are the two for me that I'm like living with. That I'm like, yeah, this is it. I recently have gone to play Yachty, believe it or not, again. I had a drive, and so I played his album and kind of let it play all the way through, and consistently looking to give him more props as his evolution continues. I still can't praise him yet, but you know, I do want to say that, you know, I can back off my original stance and see that his growth is legitimate and it continues to happen. So probably those three for me, dog, that I think stand out, and I'm hoping for more stuff But yeah, those three, bro. What you got in your bag?
Yeah, I was definitely gonna start with the Donnie T. That's the one I live with. Pretty much on the daily. It's still in heavy rotation, man. He dropped the deluxe that got a song with Travis Scott, Caught and Burst. That mug crazy. That's probably like the number one play song in my Apple Music playlist right now. That Yachty joint is still fire. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested to see who all gonna go on tour from these projects. 2023 starting off hasn't been the most crazy year, but like you said, that SZA, it dropped in the past it dropped in the last year, the fourth quarter, but it lived mostly in 2023. So I think that one is still like the most recent stellar album. It's not in my rotation. That's the one thing about that album. It's not really for me when it comes to the substance that I could be hearing repetitively. But
I get that.
I know when I went to that album and I sat with it, and every time I listened to it from an objective ear, it's nothing you really could take away from that album. You know what I mean? She outdid herself. It's been dope to see her on tour. I think her tour may be coming to an end. But man, shout out to my boy Chris. That boy been over in London and Europe going crazy. You know what I'm saying? The amount of love that he getting over there, man, it looked like that boy may not be wanting to come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, that boy over there hitting flips, seducing women, and taking them down every day on stage over there. I just seen about 100 videos of that mug, man. So I'm stoked, man. Hopefully he got some music coming out this year, man. But those are kind of the ones that's at the top of my head right now, bro. Memphis is doing a lot of cooking, man. They got so many artists just on CMG. When you think about ESTG, he just dropped. I looked and seen that album is number 2 on Apple Music right now. I haven't had a chance to check it out, but I want to skim through it. Then they got Finessing 2 Time. He got a record that it's called How to Act. I really like that joint. Key Glock. I mean, all these guys are down there, dog, in Memphis going crazy, bro. Like, I think I had a topic in one of the recent episodes we was supposed to do, but I never got to it, about just the contribution from Memphis, the city of Memphis on the hip hop community in game kind of where it is, and they definitely somebody that got to get a salute and a highlight because they got a lot of noises going on down there, man. Outside of that, nothing too crazy, dog. That kind of takes the cake. Like this year album, that's just like, oh, this mug. And what about that country music you seen, bro? You on that side, Morgan Wallen? What about him? You with that? You looking like?
Yeah, listen, bro. It's the one genre of music that, for me, I struggle with the most. So, like, I have some dudes I really respect over there. Chris Stapleton, of course, being like number 1 for me. Like,
yeah,
dude's voice is gold and can do no wrong, in my opinion. Dan and Shay, love them. They're more like a contemporary country situation. Even like some country gospel on the side. There's a family group by the name of Kane with a C. They're extremely talented, fire, blowing up the charts. But as far as country's concerned, bro, it's hard for me to like sit with country music and be like, oh yeah, let me get in that bag. Not at all, bro. I don't really rock. I will. One, because I want to always expand my palette, but 2, for the sake that we can have more discussions about a genre like country that I feel like, especially being where I live in Texas, they love country out here, you know what I'm saying? Old school country, like the George Straits of the world and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not really on it. You gonna have to educate me this time.
Well, I'm not. So I got on Morgan Wallen, ironically via a Lil Durk record. What was it called? It was called Broadway Girls. Hey, did you see the way I had to change my tone when I even said it? Like,
yeah,
broad, because when you know it. Broadway Girls.
Broadway Girls.
Hey, dog, they shot the music video because I did a reaction to it and I was asking like, yo, where they shoot this video at? This smug hard. Like, it was in Austin, not Austin, Texas. It was in Nashville, Tennessee.
No, you good. We knew what you meant.
It was in the reason I keep on mixing them because they remind me of each other. Like visually, I haven't been to Nashville, but I've seen a lot of footage in Nashville, and I've been to Austin. And Austin reminded me of Nashville, but Nashville they shot it there, and Nashville I believe is the city of country music. I want to say, the song was dope, bro. It got a real like country type of vibe, but somehow Dirk made it his own, and they sound wonderful next to each other, bro. But from that standpoint on, bro, I was like, man, I want to check out Morgan Wallen, dog. Cause dude has swag like that could sit next to a little Dirk. You know how that is. And his album recently just dropped. I forgot the name of it, but I believe this is his second album. The first album kind of caught a wave as he kind of progressed as far as like his fame and notoriety. And then once it hit a certain threshold, that mud just sat up on the charts, like top 10 for like the entire year. And now this album came out. He did like 407K. I haven't checked it out. I listened to the singles, but his accent, bro, is so strong and just, you know, he got a certain swag. You know what I'm saying? This kid, dog, the kid is only like 20 some years old, like under 25. And you know, country stars, they seem to kind of have an older soul. Country just seem older anyway. The instrumentation seem like bar bone, you know what I'm saying? Like just super organic and analog type of sonics, man. So I gotta check into the music more, but from everything I've seen from the guy, bro, dude has looking like to be a next promising star as far as just like overall like in the music of pop world. Definitely somebody I keep an eye on, man. But outside of that, I'm trying to think if it was anything else that was been crazy. Eric Billinger, I mentioned him earlier in the podcast. My boy Tusi, he got a song out right now called Favorite Song. Tusi, he's actually from Syracuse, New York, but he grew up in one of the Carolinas, either North or South Carolina. But Favorite Song, he's an alternative type of, he can become alternative. He's typically like a trap soul type of guy. But this Favorite Song record, it's one that's it's already crossing over. It's sitting number 3 on all genres right now. He dropping a video today that I'm gonna react to probably later on. So it's dope to see him because he been in the game for a minute. He been touring, been doing this thing. I think on the tour with Ride Wave. That's another guy that people just factuated with. You know what I mean? I checked out this album. He's always making noise. But yeah, man, shout out to Tusi, man. Definitely wanted to shout him out for that, dog. But man, this last joint we gonna get into, dog. Hit Boy decide to drop some bombs on them. That boy say, I'm usually homeboys with producer I get compared to. Let me read this one on the, what's the name? Hey, let me read this one. Go ahead, dog. He say, hold up, G. He say, I'm usually homeboys with producer I get compared to. But on this one, I want to say I'm stressed out. Extra leg room. I don't really know, dude. He seemed like a cool cat, but I never once heard Metro do a boom bap. Hey, why you gotta go with my boy like that, though? He from the city. Hey, look, man. And then my boy Metro said, hold up. Stop playing with me before I turn you to a song. Use the infamous Kendrick Lamar. You hear what I'm saying, dog? You got a little sparring match right there. I think this honestly started, though, if you, Hitmaker, right? Which is Young Berg.
Absolutely.
You know, he's a producer now.
Who's a clown, by the way, but I just want to let people know that. Man.
Say one more time, what you say?
Hitmaker is a clown. I just want to let people know that. Super talented. I'm not talking about the music. As a person, Hitmaker is
the individual, he be having some little antics and whatnot. But Hitmaker, I think he was either on Breakfast Club or Hot 95 or 97, one of those. And it was the Breakfast Club, I think. It was either Envy or Ebro. He just mentioned Hitmaker and Hit Boy, and their intention was to kind of just show him love, like y'all some two cats that's been, killing it. Out of the newer producers, like y'all like two of the ones that's been killing it. And Hitmaker, I think he kind of looked him. I can't get the exact quote, but he kind of looked him. He was like, kind of basically saying he ain't on my level, even though his name Hit Boy, I'm Hitmaker. I think he said he not on the radio though. That's what he said. He said Hit Boy's not on the radio. And then from there, that was like some time ago. And then recently you get a video clip of Hit Boy shooting at everybody in the game that's kind of been a prominent producer of the last, let's say 5 to 10 years or so. He mentioned Metro, Hitmaker, DJ Mustard. I think he mentioned, what's the old boy name from Southside? I think he mentioned Southside too, yeah. And so he shouted out these cats, man. Like, how do you regard Hit Boy? And was it valid for him to shoot at these other cats as if he reigned supreme over them? What you think?
Listen, if I'm honest, because I've been paying a little bit of attention to this actually.
Yeah.
Hit Boy wasn't wrong in my opinion. I didn't understand why Metro felt the need to kind of jump out of the window the way he did, or and all of that, and like them. For you to mention Hit Boy's name with what he's done for a legend like Nas' career, that alone, like, I took a dude who would have been remembered a certain way and changed the narrative completely in hip hop culture about how he's to be remembered. We've got a Grammy and have been Grammy nominated for the past 5 or 6 years. Yeah, I can kick my feet up a little bit with a little bit of leg room and talk my talk a little bit. And yes, I am questioning your diversity as to what you're able to produce. Because let me tell you something. Before I was making any beats for Nas, boom bap, and reinventing that style in 2023, I also had all the trap beats that you like. I also had the stuff that made you jump. I can do both. I've never heard you get into a space where cats can be like, from the East Coast, but also turn up in the club and down south, and also bob their head on the West Coast. You don't have that type of diversity. So before you try to little boy me about what you do just because you on a radio station, just remember, DJ Mustard was on the radio station before too, and we ain't heard from him since.
Well, hold on, you said at first hold on, you kind of, I don't know if you mixed up the names or you ain't know.
I mean,
was you talking about Hitmaker for all this shit? You name it right now. Okay.
Sorry, Hitmaker. But I also think like him coming at all these producers though, I think he has the room to talk like that. I was talking about Hitmaker, yeah.
Okay.
I don't see any reason for anybody to not view Hit Boy as somebody who can talk with the bosses. And when he talks like that, a dude that we should respect and hear from and go, yeah, he ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like it. And you know who I am, bro, and I think who you are as well. The competition aspect between rappers, the competition aspect between producers, the competition aspect between engineers. I just love it. The fact that you feel like you're the best in your arena gets me fired up, period. And I think him talking like that and putting that out there has been... I'm on Hit Boy's side if you ask me, bro. I think he can talk like that. I don't know how you feel, but personally, yeah, I think Hit Boy can talk like that.
Well, let me say this. I'm a fan of illogical logic. I really am. I mean, that's I tried to find another word, but that's literally what it is. I'm a fan of illogical logic, and I think to be great, you got to have a lot of that a part of your formula, right? And I'm not even saying Hit Boy is illogical. You know, and if I'm one of the people he may be shooting at, I think it's fair to feel like that, you know, if that's the type of spirit you possess. But I like it too. No, like you said, you know, we ride similarly in the same way when it comes to competition. You know what I mean? I feel like competition bring the best out for the ones that's really cut like that, come from that cloth. Absolutely. And, you know, Hit Boy has always seemed to be somebody like that. He definitely, you know, if you don't know Hit Boy resume, you know, outside of the Nas trilogy that I think took the whole share load of doing all the beats on, which is, you know, magnificent. That's just, yeah, a lot of you know, even with being a producer now that I am, I know how hard it is to, you know, say I'm going to lock into just this sound for just this artist and block out everything else. And I don't even know if he's done that. He may have been still simultaneously assisting everybody else with their records. You know what I mean? So I have a huge amount of respect and regard for producers. You know, I think they don't always get the greatest amount of recognition and love, but yeah, I think it was valid for him to say that about himself. Objectively, I would say I feel like everybody could have been in that conversation that he kind of dissed and threw up underneath him, so to speak. I don't know if it was necessarily him doing that, but I'm kind of taking it like that. I would respect him doing that versus everybody, probably except Metro. Now, you know, cats know I'm from the Lou. It ain't no hometown bias. I think Metro, bro. Metro to me he's the one that's been distancing himself from everybody. He has so many artists that he's done similar to what Nas and Hit Boy has been doing, where he's been taking a share load of producing mainly all their records, you know, and it's very hard to kind of ignore Metro and Future. I mean, it's crazy because Future, I keep saying this, bro. Future is almost synonymous to Drake. He's the closest to being synonymous with Drake. As far as his capabilities, his success is vastly what Drake's isn't, but it's still vastly impressive in this era, right? He's the one guy that I always said, if it's anybody that's knocking somebody out of that three-headed monster, he's the one that's gonna knock somebody out of there, being Kendrick, Cole, Drake. He's the one that's, I always said over the last 10 years plus probably, that I said he can knock one of those out of there if you talk to the right crowd. And then you got to go back to, you know, Metro and the Migos, right? Probably their biggest record ever, Bad and Bougie. You know, I know Hit Boy got Niggas in Purrs, which, if you ask me, is probably a top 10 all-time hip-hop record, right? That's one of the records. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's one of the records that I could just hear on repeat for days. You know what I mean? I believe they was in Paris and they did it 8 times. They broke the record for like the amount of times a record got performed live. It was crazy, right? So I think, you know, I like it. You know, I definitely like it. But you know, as we can see, Metro is still diverse. You know what I mean? This guy's got a record with The Weeknd. As we speak right now, he has a record right now that's climbing the charts with The Weeknd, Creeping, that has The Weeknd. It has Diddy on the remix they just got, and then
21 Savage on that.
21 Savage. 21 Savage, yeah. And you know, he's and that's not the first time he's produced for The Weeknd. You know, and so I don't know if, you know, you can take some jabs at Hit Boy. One, he's not the most on the radio, right? That's something that Hitmaker can say. And I don't know if he's on the other side of producing those type of records that Metro is for the weekends and things of that nature, like that. But he does have the boom bap. He does have the trap. He's the guy that's behind that record, Trophies with Drake, you know, which is amazing production and probably not the most successful, but it's amazing production from a production era. It's amazing. I definitely love that record. He got some stuff for Roddy. That's amazing, you know. And so he's in I'll say he's in a rare room. You ain't just throwing Hit Boy in a room with, you know, Joe Smo, you know, or Joe Blow, whoever you want to say, but he's in a rare room just because he's worked a lot with some of the greatest, you know. So, yeah. Man. I like the smoke though. I like smoke in all fashions almost.
I love it, dog. I love it, and I think I'm glad that he's not. I'm glad that he's not remaining humble about this. That he would say, nah, absolutely not. Okay, you on the radio, bro, but like go Google me. You know what I'm saying? Go find out who I am if you want to play like that. I love that. I love that. And I also love what Hit Boy's been doing this last couple of years. So.
I do want to see Hit Boy getting that DJ Drama, DJ Khaled, and now Metro bag, where he hosts a host of tracks for people to come in and because I'm gonna tell you right now, Metro is becoming probably the best at that. This Heroes and Villains, marvelous.
Yeah, I would agree.
He got, and you already know what he do with 21. That's another one. Do you know how much impression that Metro got with 21?
Yeah, unprecedented, bro.
Big Sean. I mean, that's what I mean. Yeah, like Metro, that's why.
Yeah,
Tell you, bro.
Get Hit Boy a project, man. Get Hit Boy a project. Let's hear it, bro. Because I think Metro to me has definitely, and I know, you know, some people would say, but look at Khaled's catalog. Yeah. But I'd much rather hear Metro team up with artists that he has recently than what Khaled is doing. Khaled has a formula to me. It's kind of like, okay. But with Metro, what Metro did on this last joint, getting these artists together for a compilation. I would love to see Hit Boy do the same, and then we can really have a conversation about like where those two stand next to each other if we were to get something like that. Yeah. That would be extremely interesting. I hope that happens, bro.
Yeah, I hope that happens. And you know, he's been around. Metro's been in it longer, so I'm pretty sure, you know, Hit Boy probably, you know, has some of that stuff in his plans. I just want to see him do that, and I like that. I must give the nod. You know, I know a lot of people feel a certain way about Khaled, but the fact that he's opened up that lane and you see more people do that, you know, I think we got to give him that nod because, you know, that's another form of business for producers. You know what I'm saying? Like, they literally can get signed contractually for albums opposed to just being in-house studios or getting money from beats and royalties. They can almost act as the artist. You know what I mean? And you don't have to be as charismatic or much charisma as somebody like DJ Khaled, because Metro isn't that. Metro, he pretty much just allows the music to be his frontal and he just kind of plays the background. So, yeah, we got to give a nod to Khaled for that, man. I know you seen that the boy walking on a runway in Noami show. That mug was broke.
Crazy, dog.
Like, he was walking, bro. I love Khaled, man. As much as cats hate him, I love him, bro, because he's always going to be about business. He brings that energy, and he's always trying to find a way to get his name back into space, man.
Absolutely, bro. One of my top 5 entertainers, bro. He's just period. Like, yeah. I know cats don't like him. I love Khaled. I love the way that he promotes his stuff. The only dude that I really full blown love more than Khaled officially, that I think, you know, should always get flowers and always be remembered as a legend no matter what, is Ray J, bro. Ray J is the only other cat that I think
Come on, man.
is legendary on that level, bro. Where it's like, I love the way he promote himself. I love how crazy they are. So Khaled and Ray J, bro, those are my two guys, man. Ray J's the GOAT for me.
Shout out to Khaled. Shout out to Ray J, man. I never thought Ray J would come up on this podcast, but there it is, fellas.
There it is, bro.
Ray J has entered the building, man. Man, that'll wrap up episode. Technically, this is episode 11 if you count our live shows, but as far as the ones that'll be on the platforms, this is number 9. Man, really been enjoying this with y'all, man. Enjoying y'all on the road and the journey for us, dog. What's popping your way there, my G? What you got up for the rest of the week?
Listen, man, a lot going really, man. Just doing some work in the community, man. So I'm a little everywhere. Just came back from Kansas City, doing some work in the city over there, and kind of helping the hoods over there. So doing a lot in Houston. Probably be part of some showcases and some shows for artists on the Christian side. Shout out to my guy Derek Minor, who was in the city. We got to catch up. It's been a long time since we got to do that.
Yeah, I seen that. Shout out to D Minor.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Minor, man. And Pray will be here soon. KB will be back in the city, so hopefully get with those guys. But yeah, man. Just trying to work, man. Just trying to work, trying to stay active. Love what we're doing here, bro. More content to come, and really that's what I've been on, bro. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, my G. Matt Black got something bubbling for us coming up, dog.
2-part series for Matt Black. Interview with a couple of community leaders from the city. That should be dropping soon. Working out the logistics with that now, but yeah, that'll be down the pipe as well, bro. So definitely excited for that, man. What you got on your list?
That's what's up, my G. Yeah, man. Speaking of the working with some hoods and things of that nature, man. Your boy joining the what you call it, the non-for-profit organization community. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be I've always kind of been like an ally, helping hand to organizations, but I've never been on the staff actually. You know, I've always had friends and things of that nature that's worked actually with organizations. But yeah, man, next month I'll be joining the staff, man. So excited about that. I actually be doing some podcasting work for them. I'll be doing a lot of the media and videography and things of that nature, things that I love to do. So not really gonna feel like work. And yeah, man, really had desires to kind of be in a position to be giving back for unfortunate situations and peoples and communities. So looking forward to that, dog. You know what I mean? Outside of that, man, y'all can definitely expect more media coming from the world of Klarity. You know, like I said, we're going to be doing more live engagement. Make sure you pay attention to the IG page. You know, we also sometimes do the episodes live on there. Enjoy that the first time. And YouTube as well. Expect more content I'll be making some plans to make my way down to H-Town. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Cats will be in the city this year, dog. It's a lot of business and just, I think it's going to be real dope to get down there, especially for the podcast and just all around content. So expect more of that. We're going to try to get y'all some, more of us. You know what I mean? Did you check out Warrior Mall? Little skit stuff they be doing. I ain't gonna steal a idea, but I want to give more, just of who we are and things of that nature too. So, we'll be brainstorming, but that's some stuff that definitely be inspiring me, man. Joe Budden Podcast, definitely big shout out to them and all the people that's in the podcast space. It's growing every day, dog. So we trying to stay ahead of the buck. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love it, bro. Let's get to work, man.
For sure, man. Well, ladies and gents, you know what time it is, man. It's your boy Word from the Word of Clarity Podcast. Here again with my boy Kenny G. Until next time. Yee.
Yes, sir.